So in this screencast we want to talk a little bit about categories, and it is possible to structure your content with categories. And yeah, let's have a look at a newspaper page. For example, you have exactly these world news, politics, world or disasters, I don't know what. And this is usually a category because inside of these menu items are articles. So you need to have a structure. And in Joomla 2.5, the limitation from Joomla 1.5 to sections and categories exists or doesn't exist anymore. So you can have as much nested categories as you want, and there are no sections anymore. So this sounds all a bit complicated, even with my bad English. But I hope you understand what I mean. So this is a kind of tree of categories, and behind these categories are as much articles as you want. And when you go back here to the articles, you see, for example, this article administrator components. Oops, where is it? This administrator components is in the category components. And when you go to the category, here is a category component. So you see, this is the 1 to 3rd hierarchy level beyond, below the sample data articles. And what is important, and this is a kind of limitation which is at the moment not that nice, it is only possible to have one category. So let's say this one here, administrator components, this is an article, and it is possible to say you are a member of components, but it is not possible to say you are a member of 3, 4, 5 categories. So some say this limitation is a good one, and some say it is a bad one. I don't know, it depends on what you want to do. I just want to mention this, that it is only possible to have one category assigned to one article. Okay, let's go back to the categories, because this is quite easy here, and you can filter for different levels, you can filter for status. It's more or less the same everywhere in the modules, in the articles, and also here in the categories. But how does it look like? And in general, when you access the example data, let's say you go here to this About Joomla menu, then you have the menu items more or less in a similar structure than the categories. And for example, you see here using extensions is a list of all categories, or components is a category block, or what do we have else? Here is a category list. And in general we have 3 different kinds of categories, and this is possible to see if you edit this menu item here and just click on select on the menu item type, and then you see here under articles these 3 possibilities. So you can have list all categories, you can have a category block, and you can have a category list. And in the category block you see the articles, because it is the kind of a block view. In the category list you have a table with articles or with different categories, and in a list of all categories, yes, you can see all the categories. So it sounds a bit the same, but it looks a bit different. So let's have a look here in the example data, and it's quite important to have that. So let's say using extensions is a category list. So here you have the description for this this menu item, and here are other categories, and this is the description of the category. And you can see it when I go, oh, just a moment, here is using extensions. You see it is a list of all articles, of all categories. And here are a lot of options. So here you see it starts with extensions and then you see the categories below. When I go back, you see it starts with extensions and then you see the categories below. Yes, they are here, components, modules, templates. And then you can say, well, I want to have, for example, the subcategories description, or I don't want to have them. So let's say I want to have this. I want to hide it, not I want to have it. And I say save, save, go back to my using extensions, reload it and have a look. Now you have only these links here, and when you go inside of the component, yes, you have another kind of list or another kind of category view. So I put my description back just to get not more confused as I've already been. So I show the subcategory descriptions and well, they are back. Yeah, they are back. So now I want to have a look where we have a block list. So for example, here we have a category block in components. So then when we look here, these are articles. So these are not anymore categories, these are articles. And if it is like this, it is like the front page. The front page is also a block view. And we can display these articles. For example, block layout options, here it is. We can, for example, say we want to have it like at the front page. We want to have a leading article here, so the first one on top. And then we want to have, I don't know, yeah, let's say 7 intro articles, and we want to have this in 3 columns. And I save it. And when I go back to the website and reload, we have exactly the same view then at the front page. And this is very powerful, but to be honest, it is a kind of complicated in the beginning to understand what you can do with all these stuff. So I think the best thing is to just play around. So here I don't want to have them anymore, and I want to have 1 column. And when I save it, I hope it is the same than before. Yes, it is perfect. So when I go now, I want to show you the table and where it is. Maybe in the modules. I'm not sure. No, I have to look here because there's another view. So we have a category list and we have this block list, and there is another list called, where do we have it? List all categories, category block. Here it is, category list. It is under components, content components. What do we have here? Article, category, list. So let's see if we find that. It is components, there are no article components. Oops. Ah no, content components. Wow, content component, and here we have the article category list. Here it is. And this looks, yeah, like a table. So here you can decide in the options whether you want to have the table head or how many do you want to have there inside. And let's go here in this menu item. And here somewhere, I think it is in the category options. Is it there? No, it isn't. It is in the list layout. Ah, yeah, here. You can say I want to have the table headings or not, or I want to have the filter field, for example, and I want to filter for a title. And I want to have only 5 articles. And let's have a look how that is changing. And when we go back and reload it, well, we have here a title filter, and we have only 5 anymore, and we can filter for beginners. No, beginners. And voila, here it is. So you see, categories are, how can I say this? You can structure a lot, and this is okay. This is quite complicated. Usually, you try to avoid things like this. What you see here in the example data. So usually you have, let's say, 3 or naja, 4, but not that much. But it is possible to, to do a lot. And the only limitation is 1 category per article.